When I was a young sales rep starting out my business career, I got to be involved in a presentation for a huge hospital conglomerate. And I didn't get to be participating in any of the decisions of how we did our presentation because I was just a young sales rep starting out. But I got to observe, and we walked in there and we started off the presentation by talking for the first 15 minutes about ourselves. We talked about our company history. We talked about why we were founded, what our mission statement was. And I could tell, even though I was a young sales rep and didn't really know what I was doing, that the customer really could care less. We had lost them from the start. And so this started me thinking, and eventually when I went off on my own, I started my own company where I decided to do some customer research, which really had never been done before. I couldn't find any books in the business realm about what customers really thought of people trying to sell them things. So I went out and started a research project where I went out and asked hundreds of customers all over the country a standard set of questions. And there was one question that really stood out as the most fascinating to me. And that was when I asked customers for their opinion on what sales reps could do better. I said, if you were giving them some advice, just general advice, what would you say? Now you would think it would be, unusual to hear the same question, the same answer more than once, really, because it's such a broad, open-ended question. And shockingly, 56% of the time I heard the same answer. And the answer was, be friendly. And I thought this was so shocking because there's so many other great answers like be honest, don't talk too much, all these other great things. But really what they want is someone to be friendly. And as time has gone on, the older I've gotten, I realize that it does make sense because there is something called a negative bias, which means that when something negative happens, we in our brains are twice as likely for it to make an impact on us than a positive something. And so when you interact with someone in a negative, kind of hurtful way, it really makes an impact on them and not a good one. So being friendly is so important because the non-friendly really sticks out. And there's other research that shows that actually friendly people are more likely to get promoted than unfriendly ones, even if the unfriendly ones are extremely competent and very good at what they do. So the question is, how can we be friendlier? Not just as sales reps who are trying to sell something, but as humans, as business people, how can we be friendlier? And there's really 5 ways that I've come across to be friendlier. Number 1 is to smile more, both in person and on the phone. If you smile more, you come across as friendlier and you're just to have a more positive inflection in your tone. Number 2, if you're talking on the phone, which so many of us do in our day-to-day life, both in the personal and the business world, look in the mirror and make sure we're smiling because then we know we'll be coming across as more friendly. Number 3 is to use more pausing. If you're not sure what to say, if someone else is starting to get a little heated, just pause. Don't interrupt, don't talk, let them do more talking, and you'll come across as friendlier. Another great way to be friendly is to let things simmer. So let's say somebody's really mad at you about something, and your first response is to get emotional and to get defensive. Let it simmer. Let it have a minute to calm down. There's a reason why in high school sports, if you're mad about something, you're not allowed to talk to the coach for 24 hours. And there's a reason for that. And that's because it's so important that we stay calm. And if we have that chance to calm down, we'll do better. And the last thing is be aware of your energy. If you're coming across with high energy, you'll come across as friendlier. And so this is what I really want my TED Talk to be about. The number 1 way to get ahead is the underutilized characteristic of being friendlier and how to do it.